Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech. We're going to review the iPhone 4S today. The iPhone 4S has been out for a couple days and I've been using it as my main phone for that amount of time. And I had an iPhone 4 prior to this, and there are some differences, and there's not so many differences really. It's a really nice phone. I still love the design, even though it is over a year and a half old. You know, we consider that old nowadays as far as phones go, which is pretty crazy. But the phone's really nice. It's got the metal band, and it's got that beautiful Retina display at 960 by 640 on a 3.5-inch screen. So it's a beautiful screen. It works really well. The touch is great. I would argue the touch is better than any phone out there. It just seems to be more responsive than the rest of them. So the iPhone 4 brought to us the Retina display, this design, the glass back as well, and a beautiful camera. And this one improves on that camera with an 8-megapixel camera where they've added another lens, they've added some stabilization, some autofocus, and it is a huge upgrade as far as people that like to take pictures. If you're not into that, you're not going to even want to consider upgrading it because it's not that big of a deal, really. But the camera itself takes beautiful pictures, does a great job in the different environments. I took a few pictures in pitch black. Let's see if we can find some here. Here's one I took where it was completely black outside, and I took a picture of the ground. Let's see if we can refocus it for you here. Took a picture of the ground in blackness, and the flash lit that up and took a pretty good picture. I'll be doing some reviews with picture comparisons and things and image comparisons in other videos, but it's very impressive, the camera. The other upgrade is it now has a dual-core A5 processor. Now, it may be a gigahertz, but I think it's an 800 megahertz processor. No one's really actually confirmed that. Apple never really said. But it's plenty fast. It definitely feels faster than an iPhone 4 and doesn't seem to lag ever. It's extremely rare for any lag whatsoever. If I type in, you know, how are you today, everything I say keeps up, or everything I type keeps up. The interesting thing, and the reason I mention the word everything I say, is because we have Siri included. Now, Siri has not been included with iOS 5 on other devices for some reason, but we do have Siri, and we can get to that by holding the home button. How are you today? And it will go in.
I am well.
So it's pretty nice. I did a review on that, or a little overview, and it is a great little service that's built in. But I wouldn't say it's a killer feature. It's not necessarily something you have to have this phone. We have Siri, we have an upgraded processor, and we have a beautiful camera. Those are really the killer features of the phone. It does have newsstand because of iOS 5, but there isn't a whole lot more I can say, you know, this phone is better because, well, those are really the main things. You know, there's going to be little things here and there. On AT&T, for example, they changed the little vibrate motor to the one that's used in the Verizon iPhone. And for those of you that had a Verizon iPhone, you're not going to really care because you're not going to notice the difference, but it does vibrate differently. They've moved the buttons up a little bit. And basically, overall, it's an iPhone 4 with a better processor, better camera, and the ability to use Siri. They have changed some icons around because of iOS 5, but I really can't say that's what makes the phone better or anything. I've used this as usual, how I do for a music player regularly. Sound is about the same. There really isn't a whole lot more I can go into and say, yes, this is better, or definitely upgrade. It's really going to be preference. If you want a camera, a better camera, go ahead and upgrade if you've got an upgrade available. If you don't care about the camera, I'm not so sure that this is worth the upgrade at this time, and you might want to wait for the next phone. But other than that, I'm not really sure there's much more to go into. You know, if we see what Apple says, there's a bunch of new features, and I'm sure they've made refinements to the phone. Like I said, the speed is great. It's brought it up to the speed of other phones like Android, and we also have the talk button here, but that's something Android had for some time, and Windows Phone 7 also has that. So there isn't a lot that I can say is, you know, convincing to get this. However, it's still a great phone. The iPhone 4 was my favorite iPhone. Prior to that, it was the iPhone 1, which I liked the design of better than the 3G, 3GS. This is just a beautiful design. Some people don't care that it's a glass or care for the glass back. I like it. I actually have a screen protector on it, but it works really well, and it just makes the aesthetics extremely nice to use and to hold in your hand and use day to day. The screen could be a little bit bigger. That's one thing where it lags behind the others. I really was hoping for a 4-inch iPhone, as I've been using a Samsung Focus for a while. That's a 4-inch screen. 4.3 is a little bit large. I think the 4-inch is kind of the sweet spot, but unfortunately this doesn't have that. Other than that, though, I think it's a nice phone. I can't say that it's bad in any way, other than it's not that different from the other. It's the incremental upgrade that they did with the 3G. So if you have any questions or anything specific you want me to go into, that you're trying to figure out, do I want this phone, don't I want this phone, please feel free to comment below, and I'll try and answer all those questions for you. I'll be doing other reviews and camera comparisons and things like that, iCloud overview, at another time. But like I said, if there's anything you really want to see that's making you kind of hinge on what you want to get, please let me know, and I'll comment below or show a video with that feature you wanted to see. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit subscribe. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.